I want to go back to last week's show.
Okay.
I knew when I told you I text y'all this. We put our show out on Tuesday. I knew Monday.
Every Tuesday.
I said, because I'm just
all streaming platforms.
I'm always meditating.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with you. This is episode 38. And it didn't get me until we were mid-20s until I was comfortable with everything that we were doing. Before that, we had this conversation one
time.
time.
Was garbage.
Before I was like, you hit me
what?
up.
He thought it was garbage?
He hit me up one day and said, hey man, what you think about tonight's show? And I'm like, I actually thought tonight's show was good, but he's never done that before. And we might have been at like episode 15 or 16, somewhere like.
I see where you're going. I wasn't
he said,
sure before,
how do you think tonight's show? And I said, I actually thought tonight's show was good. I don't never leave the room. I actually leave the room thinking the exact opposite. I'm like, yo, that was garbage. What we gonna do next week? I don't know. And I said, the only thing that brings me back from that is the fact that everybody enjoys da 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 da.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just saying that to say, when Sunday, I felt pretty good about everything that we did, right? Monday, I was walking around the house and I said, I need to call our producer right now and tell him to edit the end of that out, because it's gonna be some problems. And I said, it's too late. I ain't gonna put that on him. I'm gonna have to pay him more. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna just deal with it. So I already knew this was coming, and I was already prepared to deal with it. Everybody thinks that I said or was alluding.
You combined implying.
Yeah, implying. I'm
from Louisiana.
Don't blame Louisiana.
Don't put that in me, man. Don't put that on me.
I ain't gonna say it because they already mad at Louisiana.
Everyone thought that I was implying that the fight between Linares and Haney was fixed. I was not implying that it was fixed. What I think I left what I was saying wide open, and I knew that on Monday. I was like, you didn't close that right. You didn't say that right. What I was trying to say is Linares' lack of intensity. His punch output did not increase in rounds 11 and 12. There was no sense of urgency. There was nothing inside to me, nothing that showed that he wanted to win that fight, that he wanted to knock out Haney after hurting him in the 10th round. And it's clear that he knew that he was hurt because he escorted him to his corner. Yeah. And I was not saying that the fight was fixed. What I was saying was that, hey, at the end of it all, this dude just went out there and got his paycheck, and that was it. I also said that I expected more from him. I did not want Devin to lose that fight. I don't care about whatever big fight he could be in the future. I did not want to see him lose. Yeah. I did not want to see him lose to Linares. I wanted to see him move on, prosper the bigger and better. Yeah. And what I was trying to say was, because I didn't see Linares in anything about him showing that he wanted to win, I was like, yo, that just looked funny to me. That looked different. And I left it wide open. But what I meant was, he did not do what I expected him to do as a former champion or as
even just a competitive champion level fighter.
Yeah, and I didn't see that, and so I want to clear that up by saying I did not mean to allude to him being. I use the right word. Allude to him being the fight being fixed.
So I think the biggest thing, which I'll allow you to clarify, was that it seemed as if, based on you alluding to the fight being fixed, you were taking credit away from Devin Haney. Oh, okay. That was the concern. Was people were like, oh, he's taken away from this great fight from this young fighter. Yeah. Which I don't think you were doing at all.
No.
Mm-mm. And so I think that was important to note.
Because
that's what people. Because people are like, oh, it's. None of the feedback was like, man, that's crazy. You accused Linares of that. It was like you're taking away shine from Devin Haney, who's a young fighter that you have a relationship with. Yeah. So I think it's important to note that. Yeah. It was not you. We talked. I mean, it's funny that was the part, but like we talked about how great Devin Haney was before that. Yeah. So great performance from Devin. Yeah. I don't think you meant to do that. And also, at the time I didn't think you were alluding to that. And then I was kind of like, maybe he was. Yeah. And then afterwards I was like, it kind of felt based on if somebody's just listening to that, they would get that same thing. Yeah. You're like, it's suspicious. You say what?
Oh, yeah. I went off. I was salty, man.
You were just like, you guys say what you're going to say. And I was like, at the time, I was like, I didn't think it was fixed at all.
I swear to God, like, I replayed all that in my mind on Monday, and I was like, yo, what were you doing? Like, this is going to be bad
It was a bit much, but again, you weren't discrediting Devin.
Yeah.
Great performance. Yeah. We mentioned that.
Yeah. And then one more thing I have to say about that. So we get everything coming at us like Tuesday. I think everything started coming at us on Tuesday. So then I think Thursday you were like, hey, see if Devin might want to come on the show. So I reached out. I had a conversation with Bill, and I asked Bill, I said, hey, yo, do you mind if I, bring this up on my show? I said, I was going to revisit it anyway because I feel like I have some things to clear up anyway.
Right.
I said, but I'm only going to bring this up if it's cool with you. And he said, no, I'm not coming on your punk ass show. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
It's a punk ass show, in all fairness.
Yeah, we're a bunch of punk ass.
That's fine. I was like, dang, like we spent 30 minutes on the phone. I wish you had just said that from the GO. So I entertained everything that he had to say to me. I'm not going to say everything that came out over the phone, but I will say that he felt that I didn't give his son credit.
Yeah. Which was the general thought.
I think,
feeling.
and I think that the way that I exhibited my point at the end of that whole thing really took away from
which it would in any circumstance.
Yeah.
Like if we talk about a basketball game, and we're like, the Clippers and the Mavericks, we're like, I think the Mavericks ran on the take.
Yeah,
that completely takes away from the Clippers because then it's like, oh, you didn't actually win.
Yeah. So I asked him, I said, yo, did you actually watch the show? Or did
someone tell you?
Did somebody
bits
tell
and pieces?
Yeah, he said, no, I watched the show. I watched the show.
It.
Hey, shout out for the view.
Yeah. I said, yo, watch it back because I don't think I was on y'all or on you as hard as you think I was. He said, no, you was. You was. I said, well, maybe I should watch it back because maybe I don't remember exactly how that went down, but I want to clear it up again.
Yeah.
I thought that Devin, 95% of this fight, even upwards to 98% of this fight was very good.
Yeah.
I won't say masterful. Was very good. It was excellent.
It was amazing.
Excellent.
The first 10 was amazing.
Yeah, it was excellent. Until just one hiccup.
And it's
95 to 98%. 95 to 95%.
None of us wanted to see him lose.
No.
And I did not want to see him lose. But I just want to go on record for saying that exactly. Like I'm not wishing ill on this dude. I try to call it the way I see it.
We keep it real here, man. If you don't like it, you don't gotta watch.
And I think that what the thing is, and I think what it is we go back with Devin and his dad. Devin's been in the ring with me. We sparred, so on and so forth.
I recorded it.
And
allegedly.
And Devin was a young dude, and I was still young in this game, trying to become a champion, so on and so forth. And I think because we go back as far as we do, I think you just don't expect anything bad to be said or the critique to be the way that it was said. Or it would be said
offline.
Yeah.
And probably understandable.
And I need everybody to understand moving forward that I'm not out to take shots. I'm not really not out for the views because he did allude to that. Hey, you just did that for the view. I'm not out for views. I want this podcast to succeed. I want this podcast to always be real. I want it to be the Porter way. We talk about everything that's boxing. We talk about things beyond boxing. But I think that because of our relationship and all that kind of stuff, I don't think they expected anything to be said negative on this show. I think if anything, they wanted the corrections to come straight to them, so on and so forth.
And why would you think that when we give you shit and you're our boy, you're on the show?
Right.
It is what it is, But when it's that's the thing. Like, it's nobody's problem until it's their problem. Once it's their problem, now it matters, So in this instance, I really had one critique, and that's, hey, you guys got to tighten up in that corner when things happen like that. Keep it together, And he told me everything that he did in the corner. I'm like, okay. I entertained the whole conversation that we had, but at the end of it, I said, hey, what you need to know is I'm still rooting for you and Dev. I hope the best for y'all, and this don't do nothing for me in terms of how I view you or view y'all. Mm-hmm. He did feel a little different. He like, hey man, you came at us in a way I didn't expect, and I kind of knew based on some other things that have happened to you that this was gonna happen eventually. I'm like, it's gonna happen eventually, But it is what it is. Listen, this is the Porter Way podcast. We're gonna talk about boxing. We're gonna get to the real. If you don't like what I said about Jared Hurd, I'm sorry. If you don't like what I said about Luis Aries, I'm sorry. But I try to keep it real, and I try to say what's on my heart and my mind. I don't make any of this up. I actually know things now because I get good stuff that come to mind.
And you also,
and if I don't, then y'all may miss it.
And a lot of these guys. So I think if you're willing to say it, I would correct me if I'm wrong.
Hey,
I think you would have said the same thing to them directly, or if you had a relationship with not better, but knew Jared Hurd better, you'd say, hey,
Hey, what's crazy is I can't help but be me, right? So He called. I'm getting a lot of slack over the phone, so on and so forth. And something just like try to help them.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, listen, people were booing at the end because of the way that you guys were clinching. I try to stay away from the word holding, but I said, hey, Devin's got to figure out a better way to initiate that clinch. I said he was reaching out at the end of the fight. Everyone can see that he's clearly grabbing and holding Linares. That's not the right way to do it. I said, hey, maybe you should try getting Dev to slip to the inside, get a little close, and then stand up on the guy and body to body and get close, so on and so forth. And he wasn't trying to hear anything like that at the end of this conversation because he thought that I was just really coming at him. I'm not out to get anybody. I'm out to entertain. I'm out to have fun. I'm out to give some good insight. I will apologize because I really wasn't trying to allude to the fight being fixed, and I know that y'all take everything that I say very serious, and so I was a little hot because I expected more from Linares. I tweeted, Linares ain't finished. It's gonna be a tough road for him, but he's gonna handle it. And then when it went what I thought I was gonna saw, then I didn't see what I thought, and I was a little heated. So it is what it is. We gonna move forward beyond that. But I do want everybody to know that moving forward, hey, I'm gonna try to say things correctly. That was a moment, and I even considered this like I'm on TV, I'm on live television, and when I mess up, I smile at it, I laugh, and I learn from it, and I try to keep going. And that's exactly what I did with this. I didn't take anything too serious or too hard to my heart, and I just learned from it.
Yeah, so. All you can do.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.